So what we're going to do is we're going to use this app and we're going to code it, and this is going to be our review. So you'll see it says Busiest Airports of 2016. 2016. Now our data doesn't just have 2016, so we're going to have to filter it down to 2016. Then, if you click on this link here, hey Lucas, put all that stuff away, please. If you click on that link there, you're going to see that we can select a country, and when we select a country, then that country is also going to be filtered. So we're going to use a filter that has two parts. 2016 in the country, two parts for our filter. So our if else is going to have two filters. And when you click on that, it should filter down and select the first country. It doesn't work. So go to View Code. When you go to View Code, it should look like this. And after you go to View Code, click on Rename. Actually, I think you have to click on Remix first. Click on Remix. After you click on Remix, it should say Remix Airports Project. Then after you click on Remix, click on Rename, and then put your name at the very beginning, like that, and press Save. So yours should have your name, Remix Airports Project. So this is your personal copy of this app. And then you need to share it with me. So you're going to click on Share. And you're going to click on Copy the link to the project, and you're going to email that to me. What's that? You all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So go to your Gmail. Thing that we've done for every other app. So the first thing we have to do is think about it. Let's look at our data. So click on Data. We're going to need to bring in our data table. So we need to search for Airport. Airport. There it is, Busiest Airports. Go ahead and click on Busiest Airports. Import that. That's going to bring the data into your app. Click on Busiest Airports. You're going to see all your data. You can grab right here where there's these three dots and make that a little smaller if you want to. You'll see that what we've got is we've got the busiest airport, number one, rank number one, in 2016 was the Hatfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. That airport in Atlanta is very busy because it's kind of in the middle of the East Coast. So traffic from New York and from Orlando and from Texas and everywhere goes through there. The code, every airport has a three-letter code. Grand Rapids is GRR, Atlanta is ATL, Orlando is ORD. Actually, no, that's Chicago. Location, Atlanta, Georgia. Country, United States. Total passengers, it says the total number of passengers in that year. So 104 million passengers flew out or landed at that airport. 104 million. I'm not sure if it counts taking off and landing or just taking off or just landing. But anyways, it's the busiest airport in 2016. Notice we've got 2016, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. We've got 2015, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. We've got 350 lines. So we're going to have to filter this. Okay? So first you bring in the data into your app, then you filter it down to just the 1 year you want. And then we're going to also filter based on the country. Okay? Okay, so the first thing we need to do is bring in our data. So we're going to go to Code. And we're going to bring in our data. What data do we need? Good question. If you switch to Results screen, you can see we're going to need the name of the country, the name of the airport, the name of the passenger, the number of passengers. Name of the country, name of the airport, number of passengers. And of course we're going to have the year because we need to filter to year 2016. We don't want any of the other years. So we need the year, the country, we need the name of the airport, and we need the passengers. So how do we get this information into our app? We have to have a variable, yep. How are we going to get all the countries into our app? GetColumn, exactly, GetColumn. So we're going to grab a GetColumn. GetColumn is data. We're getting data. Data GetColumn. And this one, I'm going to have to go to Show Text. I'm going to get rid of those 2 square brackets, put a couple spaces in there, put my cursor right in the middle of the spaces there. I'm going to grab that GetColumn, throw it right in the middle there. Then I'm going to go right back to Show Blocks, make sure it looks good. There it is. So we're going to get all the countries, but the GetColumn, the block, has my table, and it also has my column. What do we need in the my table? What do we need in the my table?
Busiest airports.
Exactly. So you click on that, choose Busiest Airports. It's right there. Choose Busiest Airports. What do we need in the my column? Gotta get our country. So we're going to go to country. Okay? Busiest column, country. Okay, that's exactly what we need. We could type that in there, or we can just use the click. Okay, what other data do we need to bring in to the app?
Gotta get the airport list.
Yep, we gotta get the airport list. What else do we need?
And passenger list.
What else do we need?
Passenger list.
Yep, we need the passengers list. What else do we need? There's one other thing we need. We need the year. That's right, we need the year. Remember, we only want year 2016, so we need to know which of those are year 2016. All right, so we're going to call this, what are we going to call the first one, or number 2?
I call it airport list.
Airport list, perfect. Okay, what do we want to call the next one? Passenger list, okay. What do we want to call the last one? Year list, great. There we go, bam, bam, bam. How are we going to get the data from the table into the list?
Get columns, man.
Get columns. We're going to use get columns, exactly. Get column, get column, get column. Bam, bam, bam. What do we do with those get columns?
Gotta set the my table to busiest airports.
Yep.
And in the column, you gotta put in the list.
Exactly. Busiest airport on all 3 of them. Okay, so for that second one, what do we need to put in as far as?
Gotta put the airport in the column.
Exactly. Exactly. We need to put in airport. What goes in for this one?
Total passengers.
Total passengers. Okay, what goes in for the last one?
Year.
Exactly. Okay, now let's double check that these worked. Okay, so open up your watchers, type country list with capital L, airport list, capital L, passenger list, capital L, year list, capital L, then run it and it should work because those are lines, the first 4 lines of your code. It should automatically load those up. For some reason, my country list watcher did not work. Why didn't?
Type in country.
I forgot the Y. That's right. Okay, country list. Bam, there they are. Okay? You should always check as you're coding, every time you do something that's going to make a change, you should check it. All right. Now, we need to filter those lists down, right? What are we going to filter it down based on?
Say it over something.
What are we going to filter these lists down based on?
America.
The country? Yep.
Yeah, all the countries.
We're going to filter down based on whatever country the user selected, right?
Yeah.
What else are we going to filter by?
The
Now look right here. Look at our main screen. What do we need to filter based on?
Oh, just the country.
Not just the country. What are you saying? Yeah, it's already the busiest airports. Let's look at our data. Here's our data. These are only the busiest airports. 50 busiest airports, year 2010, all the way up to 2016. There's our 2016. We scroll down, goes to 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. All right? So what are we trying to get rid of? What are we trying to keep?
I'm going to keep, I guess, we're going to filter out everything that's not 2016.
Exactly. Okay, so we're doing basically two filters. We're filtering, we only want 2016, and if they select United States, we only want United States. Or maybe they select Mexico, then we only want 2016, we only want Mexico. So we're filtering based on two things. We're filtering based on year, and we're filtering based on country. Two things. Okay, so our if statement's going to have two things. It's going to have an and. The year and the country. All right, so let's set up our filtered list. Let's set up our filtered lists. We can make these filter lists super fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab four lists. What do you think our first filtered list, what do you want our filtered list to be named?
Filtered country list.
Excellent. What's the next one going to be named? Lucas.
Filtered airport list.
Great. What's the next one going to be named? Christian. Exactly. What's the next one going to be named? Destiny. Say it louder, please. I can't hear. Exactly. Okay. In order to make it a list, what do we need to have in our line there?
You gotta have your country, like for example, at the filter country list, you need country list, brackets, right?
Very close. We just want to start with empty lists. So we're just going to start with a left square bracket, right square bracket. We're going to put them in each one of our little equals. That's going to make an empty list. The length of that list is 0. There's nothing in that list. Okay, they're just empty lists, but they're lists. The computer creates them as lists, which means it has a certain data structure inside there. Okay, how is the computer going to keep track of which of these countries is selected? How is your program, your app, going to keep track of which country is selected?
You grab whatever is in the input.
Yep, you're going to grab it, and then what?
You're gonna run it through. You would just run through your country list based on like if I equals United States or without like 0, right? Then you filter out everything that's not in the United States, right?
Okay, you're on the right track there. So what we need a variable to put this into. So let's create a variable. What do you want to call this variable that's holding the name of the country?
Country name.
Country name. Great. That's going to hold the name of the country. That's all it's going to do. Whatever country the user selected, it's going to hold the name of the country. All right. We're still on the first screen. We're still on the first screen. What do we need to make this first screen work? What do we need to make this first screen work? Why do we need a for loop? To make this screen work. Why do we need a for loop to make this?
Because you have to grab whatever is being selected from the drop down, and the for loop will help you cycle through the list and drop down.
Okay, we don't need a for loop for that though. There's something we can do to grab whatever's in there.
Is that like a get thing or something?
It is a get. What kind of get do you think it is? Is it a get picture? Is it a get color? Okay, but when? When is it going to get something? Can you be super fast? Like super, super fast? Because I don't want you to miss the stuff here. One of you guys from this hour has my pass also from Wednesday. Or Tuesday, I don't remember. Because the pass was missing during 7th hour on Wednesday or Tuesday. Alright, let's see. You need an onEvent because somebody's going to click right here on this button, right? They got to have something to happen. So grab an onEvent. Hey, Victor. So you need to go into D122. You need to remix, rename, and add this code. Okay? D122, remix, rename, add the code. Google Classroom, yep. Okay, on the event, though, what happens?
Would you want to do with that drop down changes?
You could, but sometimes people don't like that. They don't like it to change automatically. We got a button here. What did we name? What was this button currently named? Well, how do you find out? Find out. What's it called?
It's search random button.
It's called search random button. Okay. If that's the name of the button, that's the name we have to use in our onEvent. So go ahead and into your onEvent, search random button. I don't like that name, but that's what we got. Okay, so let's just go with that for now. I think it should just be select country button. All right, when a user clicks on that orange button, what do we want to happen? When they click on that orange button, what do we want to happen?
Grab the info from the drop down.
Grab, and what command is grab? Get. We want to get the, what do we want to get? Excellent. And what do we want to do with that input once we get it?
You want to filter, or you want to register.
Okay, where do you want to register it?
What do you mean where?
Like how? What do you mean by register it?
Like, oh man, I'm a little lost.
Okay. How do you store information in an app? How do you store information inside of the app as the app is running? Data, yeah, it's stored as data, but how is it stored? You want to store it into a variable. Do we have a variable that we can store the name of this country in? Country name. That's what you guys made, country name. So when someone clicks on the orange button, we're going to set country name equal to what? Can you be fast? Super fast? We're going to get text, right? All right, so when we click the button, that's the first thing it does. It has to read or get whatever's in the dropdown. It has to get whatever's in the dropdown. It has to put it into a variable. Let's see if it works or not. Why don't you clear out all your other watchers and just put country name and then run it and see if it works or not.
My goodness, it's working.
Is it working? Okay, you should always test stuff as you're going. You test stuff. Make sure it's working. That way you don't have to debug so much at the end. In fact, it gets impossible if you have a huge program. You don't want to debug everything, and it's just a mess. Okay, what else do we want to happen when we click that button? What else do we want to happen when we click that button? What else do we want to happen when we click that button? Lucas, what do you think? What else do we want to happen?
Do you want to redirect to a different screen?
Exactly, but your name isn't Lucas.
Oh, I thought we were still on just like the. I don't think when we change it, it should like do it. I think we should press the button and then change it, not just change like what's in the drop down.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it's programmed right now. It says on the event that the search random button is clicked, we're going to look in the countries drop down, we're going to look at the text, we're going to put in country name. So we got that, but what else do we want to happen when we click on that button?
Oh, I misread what you said. I thought just what was happening was like when we change it, it changes what's in country. I misread my code then.
That's
Or
okay.
misread what I can see.
So what else do we want to happen when someone clicks on that button?
You have to change the next screen.
Okay,
or
so
to
what's-
change specifically to the results screen.
You okay? So how do we do that?
We go get a set screen and we put it below country name.
Okay.
And we do
What kind of block is the set screen?
it's a UI control.
Okay, so UI control set screen. There it is. What screen do we want to change it to?
Results screen.
Results screen. We only got two choices. The screen that we're on, which is home screen, and results screen. There we go. All right, what else do we want to happen? So it switches screens. Okay, so let's go ahead and go and switch screens. Okay, now we're on this screen. Now what do we want it to do? In fact, we can run it. Go ahead and run it. Click. Now what? Now what do we want it to do?
Now we gotta start filtering data so it previews all the, the passengers, the country.
Okay, we want to filter the data, so let's throw in a function. Let's make that a function because that's one idea, right? Filter the data is an idea, so we can use a function to do that idea. So filter data, or whatever you want to call it. Let's call it filter data. After the data is filtered, then what else do we want to happen? So it goes through, it filters the data, but then what do we want to happen?
Or preview the data, or,
Preview?
or display.
We want to update the screen, right? Update the screen. We've been doing update screens for a long time. So we want to do two things. We want to filter the data, then we want to update the screen. Okay? Now those are big ideas. We're going to have to write a function for each one. We're going to have to write a function to filter the data, then we're going to have to write a function to update the screen. Okay? Why don't we start with creating a function to filter the data. So grab a function. We're still grabbing the ones that does not have a parameter. That is the next major topic you have to learn is how to use a parameter. That's where you send something into the function, and the function uses that. We are just using this one, which is define a function. So we can throw that right underneath there. We're going to call this function filter data. Okay, what do we want to happen in this filter data function? What do we want to happen?
Now do we put in a for loop?
Say it louder.
Now do we put in a for loop?
Sure, we can put a for loop in there. Why do we want to put a for loop in there?
Because now you're going to start the filtering
Yep, filtering always involves for loop. Okay, so where's our for loop? Is that a control? Yep. Bam. There's our filter.
You gotta put your if in there too.
We got to put an if in there. Exactly. When you're doing a filter, you have an if inside a for loop. Exactly. That's right.
Now, would you do I is greater than country list.length or year.length?
Doesn't really matter though. Those lengths are all the same, right? Every single one of those lists is going to be the same length right now. So it doesn't matter if we do country list.length, airport list.length, passenger list.length, or year list.length.
Are they all the same length?
Why are they all the same length? Because if you click on data and you scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, all the way to the bottom, you see how they all end at 350? All those lists are 350 long, every single one of them.
Oh.
It doesn't matter which list you choose. The list is going to be 350 long. In fact, if you looked in your watchers earlier, you would have noticed it said that each one was 350 long. So it doesn't matter which one you use. They're all the same.
Excuse me, Mr. Weezer, did you get the sub?
I did not.
Well,
Is there a vegan sub in there?
no, it's turkey.
No,
Dang it.
I don't need turkey, sorry.
He didn't have vegan. I'm sorry. I should have remembered that. But I didn't want you to be left out. I'm sorry.
All right, so it doesn't matter which list you choose. I usually just choose whichever one is the shortest to write. So year list dot length. And that number right now is going to be 350, right? In fact, all the list lengths are 350. Country list is 350 long. Airport list is 350 long. Passenger list is 350 long. Year list is 350. They're all the same length because they're all the same table. Okay, so it's going to go through this 300 times. What is it going to check for when it looks at the first line? Okay, let's go back to the data and see what the data is. What's it going to look for on that first line?
Rank?
Rank? No, we didn't bring in the rank.
Oh, so the year.
It's going to look at the year. What else is it going to look at?
The airport.
The airport?
Yeah.
No, we're talking, what is it going to filter based on? Let's go back to our first screen.
Oh, so filter based on
Filter based on what?
oh, the country.
The country and what else?
The,
It's going to filter on the country and what else?
and the year?
And the year, exactly. It's filtering on two things. Because we don't want 2015, 2014, 2012, 2013, 2011, 2010. We only want to look at 2016, the most recent year. It's already 10 years ago. So, yeah, we want to filter on the country and the year. So when we go to our if statement, we need to have the country and the year. Do you want to do country first or do you want to do year first?
Whatever should be fine.
You choose. It doesn't make any difference to the computer.
Do the year first.
All right, so year, list, and I right now is 0, right, the first time you go through it? So it's going to look in your data. It's going to look at the first year. It's going to look at the first year. What does that first year need to be equal to?
2016.
Needs to be equal to 2016. What else also needs to be true?
The country needs to equal the United States too.
Well, no, not in the United States. It needs to be what? Country list I has to be equal to what?
Whatever that is for the drop down.
Exactly, and where is that stored? Look at your code.
Drop down.
Look at your code. Where is it stored at?
Oh, country name.
Country name. Okay. So, the first time it goes through this loop, I is going to be 0. It's going to look at your year list. It's going to look at 0 in the year list. You can go to the data right now and you know that's 2016 because if you remember the data, it's got the 2016s first, then the 2015s. But then it's also going to look at the country list at 0. It's going to see if the country name is whatever the user selected. If it was US, Canada, Mexico, India, China, whatever the choice is, Canada. Okay. Now, if it finds an exact match, what do you want it to do? Only if it finds an exact match. It's 2016 plus the country. It's and. What do you want it to do if it finds both? So suppose it finds the year is 2016 and it finds the country is equal to your country. So I'm gonna select a country. I'm gonna select China. I'm gonna go to data. We're gonna look. It looks at the first one, 2016 US. It's gonna skip it. It's gonna look at index 1, 2016 China. Now what do we want to happen when it sees that 2016 and it sees China? China is what we're searching for. What do we want to happen when it sees?
Now you want your screen to update, right? Because now you have like all your little things.
That's a good question. So what we're going to do is we're going to find all the Chinas first. We're not just going to look for the first China. We're going to find all the Chinas and put them in our filtered list. How do we put something in our filtered list? Country list, airport list, passenger list, filtered list. Exactly, we do append. Append is what you do on a list. We're going to append all 4 of our lists. Append, 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 append. We got 4 lists, 4 filtered lists. We're going to append all 4 of them. Okay, which lists are we appending?
Filtered country list.
Yep.
Filtered airport list.
Yep.
Filtered passenger list.
Yep.
Filtered year list.
Yep, so we can just copy and paste where it says list. Oops, that wasn't right. Uh-oh. Okay, as soon as we get this done, we're going to have to run it and see if it actually works. So we're going to have to use watchers for all 4 of these. All right, go ahead and run it and see what we get. Ooh, and we gotta look for our filtered country list, right? Filtered country list. We can paste this into our watchers. Filtered airport list. Filtered passenger list. Oops. Filtered passenger list and filtered year list. Uh-oh, something does not look right here.
Your update screen messed up.
What's wrong with my update screen? Well, our update screen does not exist yet. Yeah, so we're going to have an error on line 14. We know that. We know we haven't written that function
okay,
yet.
so basically, you didn't say what the filtered country would like be equal to. Like I just did it. country list, it'll be country list and then brackets I, and then it's gonna say like that filter.
What's wrong with these Fs?
Well, those aren't country, so that's not the thing that should be filtered.
Well, let's try it for China and see if it works. Let's change it to China and then maybe it'll work. All right, well, maybe change it to Canada and see if it works. I don't understand why it's not working.
Might be your update screen messing up.
No, the update screen's not doing anything yet. Okay, you're exactly right. Right now we're telling it just to put an F every time it finds a match. We're telling it to put F into the list, the letter F. We don't want the letter F in there. We want whatever is at that position.
Country list I.
Yep, country list I. Notice now run it once you have country list I and see if it works. Looks like it grabbed United States. What else do we need to do there? What else do we need to do there?
Oh, you gotta do it for everything else, right?
Yep. Okay, notice how this is constructed. We're looking at the country list. We found a match. Maybe the match is at 10, index is 10. So we're looking at country list 10. We're going to see what it says, what country it says. We're going to put that into our filtered list. Okay? Maybe I is 15. We've got a match. We've got a match at 15. So it's going to look at 15. It's going to put that into our list. Why is it giving us all United States for this one? Why is it giving United States for all those?
Not too sure. It says list 16.
Yep, there's 16 matches.
Oh. I guess that's what she filtered. That's the country thing.
Yeah, of course. We told it to only find the United States. So into our filtered country list, it's going to only have United States. Do you think that list is going to be very helpful to us later on?
Probably. Not.
Probably not. Because we already know it's United States. We don't even need that line then. Okay? But I'm trying to make a procedure that anybody can follow, right? That you just use all the same lists every time. But in reality, you already filtered by country list. It's going to be the same. You know what else is going to be the same? Go ahead and run it. What else is going to be exactly the same when you run it?
Everything else.
Huh?
Everything else.
Run it, find out.
Update screen could have missed everything else.
Run it and find out and see what comes up in your watchers. You gotta look in your watcher. You gotta set your watchers. That's why we got watchers.
Oh, you wanted me to look, check what again? Because I got all my stuff.
Did you run it?
I got my airport.
Okay, so did you run it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the same? What's good lists and what are not good lists for filtered? Which ones are going to be useful and which ones are not going to be useful?
I guess filter to your list wouldn't be that good.
No, because we already filtered them by 2016. They should all be 2016, right? That's just verifying we only got the 2016. So I guess that's nice that we know that.
And I guess country list too.
We already know that the country is all United States because you entered in the United
Yeah,
States.
so we would just keep airport and passenger.
Right, those are the only two we need to keep. This is not using much space that we have those other two lists there, but that's all we need. Okay, we got our filter data. Yay. Now what? Now that we got our filter data,
You gotta display it.
gotta display it. All right.
Screen.
Update screen. So let's make an update screen. Make an update screen function. And what do we need to do for our update screen?
Plug in. You gotta plug in your stuff.
Plug in? Okay, how do we do that? Where do you need to plug in?
You gotta derive your data from your filter.
Yep. And put it
You
where?
gotta put it in your output, or whatever that is. I don't know what that is.
Well, let's see. Let's go to results screen. This one's called country output. What are the other two called?
You got airput, output, and passenger output.
Exactly. How do we change those?
You just set the text.
Exactly. We use set text, right? Okay. So let's grab a set text. There must be a set text somewhere. Set text. There it is. Set text. How many set texts are we going to need? It needs 3 set texts. All right. 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 set texts. What are we going to set the text of?
Country output.
Country output. Okay. Go ahead and run it. See if it works. Run it. See if it works. Did you check it? So it does?
Yeah, but it's not going to do nothing because you have it setting the output to this text. You gotta put in our list.
Okay. So it's going to actually change them to the word text. Exactly, because that's what we told it to do, right? It does what we told it to do. We programmed it to put the word text there. We put the word text there. The good news is we changed them to something else. The bad news is we don't want that. So what do we want to go into country output?
Country name.
Exactly. Okay, we just changed something. Let's reset it, try it again. Let's see if it works.
Why don't we also create other variables for like airport list and passenger list, like how we do with country name? Or could we just do like airport list
Airport list, I, like this. Okay,
Yeah, could we do that?
I don't know. Try it. What does it say?
It says I hasn't been declared.
Exactly, I hasn't been declared, because where's I declared?
In the filter data function.
It's in the-
not in this function.
That's right. So that's there. I has been declared inside a function. That's called a local variable. I only exists. The value of I only exists when that function is running, and that was before we got to updateScreen. As soon as it exited that function, I vanished. I's gone. Okay? So we could put in 0. Let's run it and see what happens. Wow, look at that.
Well, what if I only give you that and then give you like the appropriate thing?
Well, everyone is going to have at least a 0 line, right? That's not going to work very well with the next button, though. Because how do we get to 1? Or 2 or 3? And once we're at 3, how do we go to previous to 2 or 1 or 0? But let's finish this first. Okay, what else do we need? What do we need passengers output to be?
Passenger.
Say it again.
Passenger list.
Oh, it's supposed to be filtered, though, isn't it? Oh, filtered. Filtered. That's why we filtered it in the first place. Filtered airport list and filtered passenger list. I shouldn't have given that away as a clue. Try India and make sure it works for India. Try China and make sure it works for China. So what's the next thing we need to do?
I'm a little stumped now.
We gotta make the next button work. What sort of code do you need to have to make a button work?
On event.
On event, this button is clicked. Exactly. So you can go ahead and throw in an on event that the next button is clicked. And then we'll have to finish this super fast next time we get together. So class has left, but I am still here, and I will make sure that we know how to do the last parts of this. And of course, if you were absent on the day that we did the last part of this, then you can follow along. Or if you are following along on your own, then there you go. We got it all set. The next button. So if you look at the next button, make sure you're on the results screen. This button, when you run it, and you click on click, this next button is supposed to take you to the next airport. The next airport. Now, when you go to United States, you run it, you leave it on United States, you select country, then click. It's going to actually have, if you open up your watcher, and then you type in like country filtered airport list. So type in filtered airport list. I'm going to pull that all the way up. And plus, you're going to see there's 16 airports. 16 airports there. And if you reset it and run it, and this time you change it to, let's say, China, you're going to see there's 8, right? Hong Kong, Shanghai, Shenzhou, etc. Okay? So you've got several airports to go through, but you want the next button, like right now it's showing Beijing, you want it to be able to go to Hong Kong, but the next button right now is not showing that. The reason is because it's showing index 0. So it's showing filtered airport 0, which is Beijing. That's at index 0. So we want to go to index 1, we need to increase the index, which means we need an index. So instead of putting 0 here, we're going to create a variable called index. So let's grab a variable, let's create a variable called index. Temporarily, we're going to put it just above this update screen. We're going to start the index at 0 because some countries that are in the list, like Canada, if you reset it and you run it and you switch it to Canada and then you run it, you'll see there's only one airport, Toronto Pearson International Airport. Okay, so we're going to start index 0, and instead of putting 0 here and here, we're just going to put the word index, which is equal to 0. Now, why would we do that? Well, the answer is because now we can change index when we click on that next button. So when the next button is clicked, this is what we're going to do. If there's more than one, right? If there's more than one airport, then we're going to go to the next airport. So we need an if statement. So if our index is, as long as our index is less, right now it's 0, as long as it's less than the filtered airport list.length. So what's the length of this? The length of this is 1. So as long as this is less than 1, we're going to add 1. But wait a second, let's think about it. So Toronto has only one airport, and that's at index 0. Index 0. Like if we were to write indexes here, it'd say 0. Right now, 0 is less than 1, which is the length of the list. So if we put in that index equals index plus 1, and then we do a watcher for index. Okay, so right now index is 0, so let's run it. We're going to switch it again to Canada, select. Now, what happens if we click on this next button? It's going to increase the index to 1, but there is nothing at index 1. Okay, so it's not really showing up, but what we're going to do is we're just going to update the screen. So let's put an update screen there. Where's our update screen function? We're going to update the screen. Update screen. Okay, so now we're going to reset it, run it. Canada. Next. We get an error. All right, so let's try a different country. Let's try US and see what happens. United States. Oh, it's already on United States. Next. Los Angeles. Next, 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 next. Hey, it's working. Until it doesn't, right? So it doesn't work when we get to the end of the list because right now, look, index is 16, but there's nothing at index 16. That's why we need to put in a -1, filtered airport list length, -1, -1. So we have to have one, so the index doesn't increase when it's a 0, for example. So we need to put a -1. I just went to code view, -1, go back to block view. Now let's try it again. Reset, we just put a -1, that's all we did. And run, and Canada. Next, next, next. Notice it's not increasing the index. Okay, previous of course doesn't work because we haven't coded that yet. Well, let's try a different country. Let's go back to China. Select, okay, we got Beijing. The next one should be Hong Kong. Yep, there it is. The next one should be Shanghai, Pudong. Yep, the next one should be Guangzhou, Baiyun. Yep, 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 yep. And the last one should be Shanghai, Hongkou. And there we go. And I apologize for my pronunciation. I am not a speaker of Mandarin. Okay, so this works, right? Our previous doesn't work though, so we need to get our previous to work. Well, here's the hint. Previous is identical to next, except that our if statement is different, and of course we're subtracting one instead of adding one. So we can just copy this code. If you click here and then you pull your mouse up like this so it highlights everything, you can copy your code by doing Control, hold down CTRL, and then tap the letter C. And then you can use your up and down arrows. Up and down arrows. You'll notice this little cursor is going up and down. Boop, 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 boop. I'm talking up, 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 up. Down, 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 down. Control V, CTRL, and then the letter V as in victory. And of course we want this to be our previous button. And we want to be subtracting one if we're going to the left. Previous button, -1. And of course we don't want to go below 0. So as long as the index is greater than 0, we're going to subtract 1. But what if it is 0? Well, no, we don't want to subtract 1 because then we'd have a negative number, and there's no negative index in our list. All right, so we changed this. I'm going to go back to block view. Notice a lot of times you have to switch back and forth between block view, but notice the code is almost identical. And this is something that we learned a while ago, that you can do a next button and a forward button. You just need a simple conditional statement, whether it's greater than or less than. Okay, so now let's reset it and run it. Next, next, next. It's going through all our countries. Previous, previous, previous. And it stops at the first one. Let's try a different country. Let's try, we should really try every single one. I mean, that's how a good coder tests. Okay, notice previous and next does not work on Canada because there's no other airport that's quite as busy as Toronto. Mexico. Mexico only has one. We can see that in our watcher. So previous and next are not going to work. How about China? We know China. We just got to check it. Next, 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 next. Next, next, next. Previous, previous, previous. Very nice. Reset. How about one more? And we've got India. I haven't tried that yet. India, we've got 2 airports there. We've got Indira Gandhi and Chhatrapati Shivaji. And again, I apologize, I do not speak any of the Indian languages. But we should be able to go forward and back for India. Now, of course, this design does not look great. The app functions. It doesn't have any errors. It would be nice to have a back button here. That would be pretty easy. We just throw in a back button. We could do an onEvent, and we have it to switch screens back to the first screen. But we have our working app. So I'm going to bring this down for a second, and I'm going to zoom out a couple times, Control minus, 1, 2, and you can see the lines there. Depending on your screen resolution that you're set at right now. If you're watching this on your phone, you probably can't see anything. I'll blow it up a little bit back to 100%. We do need to add our comments, though. So let's add our comments really quick. Uh-oh. I think I slid. What did I do? Ooh, now we're on Airports project. I think I switched tabs. Or maybe I didn't switch tabs. Let's go back to our projects. Projects, new projects, projects, projects. Thank you for being patient. Projects, my projects, there they are, my projects. And there's my remix project. There it is. All right, so what were we about to do? Oh, we were about to put in our comments. All right, comments I think are in variables at the bottom or the top. Wait. Where are they? I don't think they're a UI control. No. Data? No. Control? No. Comment box is gray. Is it in function? Yep, there it is. Now, why is it a function? Not really sure. Okay, so we need a comment here. These are our variables. Comment here. That's our onEvent. Comment here. That's our filter. Comment here. That's our updateScreen. Comment here. Another onEvent. Comment here, that is our other onEvent, and we need to move our functions. Remember, functions, our standard is the functions go at the bottom of the page, and all our variables go at the top, all our global variables. So this index needs to move up, so make sure that you can stretch from line 29 all the way up to line 11, move index up, and then our function, our filter. Actually, we could move the onEvents above. That might be a little bit easier. So let's pull this onEvent for the next button. Let's pull that up above the two functions. Let it go around line 19. Let's do the same thing for our previous button. Move that up. There we go. And we got our two functions at the bottom. Now our comments are kind of in the wrong places. I'm going to just throw those away real quick. And I'm going to put in our other two comments right here. Every button should have a comment. All right. I'm going to also, you know something? This is very interesting. So we are missing one very, very important thing. And that is, do you see how our filter data does not clear the lists out before we start? So suppose we did put in a back button. Actually, let's do it. It's pretty straightforward. Let's put in a back button. So we're going to go to Results Screen, Design. We're going to grab a button, grabbing a button. We're going to just say it's back button, back button. We're going to call it back button. And there it is, back button. Then we're going to go back to code. We're going to code our back button. It's only got one line, pretty straightforward. Where is our control? Nope, UI control. On the event that somebody clicks the back button, we're going to just switch the screen back to home screen. So switch the screen, that's probably a control. No, that's a UI control. Set screen. Where's our set screen? Set screen. We're going to set our screen back to the home screen, not the results screen, the home screen. Let's test it, run it. Okay, United States, click the country, back button, change to, let's see, China, select country, and look, it says China, Los Angeles Airport. Something's wrong there. What's wrong there? And what's wrong there is if we do a filtered country list. Actually, if we do, yeah, filtered country list. Look, it's got United States and it's got China in there both, because we never cleared out the list. It's still remembering when we chose US earlier. So we need to clear out our lists, and the way we would do that is we probably do that every time we click here. We want to clear those lists out. Actually, every single time we run the filter. So we're running our filter, so we want to clear out those lists. Here's how you clear out the lists. We already set the lists up here. We can clear the lists out at the start of the function. Okay, so this is the standard, like when we're doing something like this, I'm highlighting these four. Okay, filtered, 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 filtered. I'm going to Control CTRL, C to copy, then down arrow a bunch of times, down, 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 down. You can see the little cursor going down. And we're going to clear the list out as soon as we run that filter function. So notice that my little cursor is right here under the word function but above the word for. I'm going to do CTRL, then the letter V. The only problem is that we do not want to make brand new variables that just work in this function that have the same name as the variables we created up here. We don't want to do that. So we want to get rid of the VAR, 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 VAR. The only way to do that is to go to show text, show text, show text, show text. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 backspacing. 1, 2, 3, 4 on line 39, my line 39, line 40, line 41. And then go back to show blocks. And let's see, reset run. I'm going to start with the United States. Yep. Okay, now we're going to go back. We're going to go to China. Select country. Hey, it said, oh, something's wrong, line 54. What's wrong? Our filtered airport list, airport output. Filtered airport list. Oh, something's wrong here. That's great. We love to have bugs. Line 54. Let's look. We got China, 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 China. Yeah, that's fine. How about our other filtered country list? Oh, do we need to reset index? We need to reset index. Because right now index is probably set at 9 or something, right? Let's see. Let's see what index is. Oh, it's set at 15. Yikes. Okay, so every time we run this, we need to reset our index. Where should we do that? Should we do that inside the onEvent? We could do it inside the onEvent, or we could do it inside the filterData. It would be too late inside the updateScreen. Where would it make the most sense? Would it make more sense in filterData to set the index to 0? Or would it make more sense to put it in? Well, every single time we filter the data, we want to go back to the index. So I think it makes more sense there. But you might be able to argue it makes more sense to have it somewhere else. All right, control, nope, not control, variables. We want to set index to 0. So index is 0. We've cleared out all our lists. Then we search through, and it's going to find, depending on what country, it's going to find some. All right, let's reset and run it. Run. Run. Next, 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 next. You can see the index is going up to 16, 15. Down to 0. Yep. Back button. Let's try China now. Okay. Right now it's got 8 in the list. Next, 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 next. And what other country had more than 1? I think India had 2. Next, 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 next. Yep. Exactly. filtered country list is pretty boring though, right? We don't even need that filtered list. We need filtered airport list. And we need filtered passenger list. But there is absolutely no reason for us to have the filtered year list and the filtered country list other than, I mean, it helps us keep our mind clear, I guess, that we don't need those lists. Well, and that the list is actually working. Filtered passengers list with a S. There we go. We got our filters passenger list. We got our filtered, wait, that's not it. I need filtered airport list. Filtered airport list. Airport list plus. Why did that not work? Because I didn't put an R in there. Airport. Filtered airport list. There we go. Bam. Okay, so we got our watches there. We don't need this watcher because that's, okay, we got our index. And next. Previous, back. United States. Yep. Ooh, there's all our stuff. United States. Those are our filtered lists. All right, let's finally do our comments. I think we need to add a comment. I'm missing one comment, and that was under what? Functions? Yep. All right. And all right. So this is our variables. Variables including full lists, filtered lists, country name, and index. Okay, this is when the search button, is it called the search button? Let's see. Reset. When the select country button is pressed, then this runs. This gets the name. Can I press enter? And, oh, that's weird. And, do I need a space there? And, I'm going to go back to text and see how that looks. It's strange that it's coding it differently. I wonder if, yeah, look at that. All right. And, switches screens. Filters the data by 2016 and selected city. Enter. And updates the screen from the filtered lists. Filtered city and passenger lists. Got it? All right, let's see. What does this next button do? It's simply increases the index as long as the index is not going to be too high. Large, big. Decreases the index as long as it is greater than 0. And update screen. I should have said add and update screen. I'm going to press enter. And updates the screen. There we go. And let's see. Back button returns from the results screen to the home screen. Filter data function that clears all the filtered lists, resets the index to 0, enter, space, filters through the list, for 2016 and the selected country only, and updates all 4 filtered lists. Okay, and our last function updates the results screen based on the country, and the filtered list for both the airport, enter, for both the airport and the passenger list. Oh, that was a lot. Okay, we got like 67 lines, something like that. Of course, you could add more comments. This should give you a really strong sense of how to do this topic. And if you need help, there's lots of videos online doing very similar apps to this app. This is 2026 code.org AP Computer Science Principles. Mr. W speaking. I hope this was successful for you. Good luck with your class, and maybe I'll see you someday in the future. Good luck.